1941, a state of war.
What General Vagon had called the Battle of France was over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin.
We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills.
So something I hear all the time is that surplus isn't cheap anymore, and people constantly complain about the prices of things going up. And it's kind of the old story. When you own something, you're very excited that the value of it goes up. And then if you don't own it, but you want it, of course, you're going to be upset when the price goes up. So when there are things out there like K98K rifles that are selling for $2,000 that just 5 years ago were going for $1,000, or Gewehr 98s, they're selling for $1,500 that were going for $700 3 years ago. I'm just using Mausers as an example, but you can pretty much apply that to just about any surplus item. I can understand for a lot of the newer collectors out there, the younger collectors that are just getting into it now, you can probably feel like the days of surplus are over. And while I do think that we're declining to pretty much a point where we're really not going to have too much surplus coming in, it's by no means dead. A lot of things in history, militaries anyways, after a certain point they went from bolt actions and semi-autos to select fire weapons. So a lot of that stuff has already been imported or destroyed, or we just can't import it. But there's still some things out there that you can get for cheap. Now when I say cheap, I am meaning around $300, $350, somewhere in there. Because by today's standards for a surplus firearm, that is cheap. So you may disagree with me. You may think that $50 is cheap. But let's go ahead and get through a few different things. I've got at least 20 guns here, or at least that I'm going to mention. Some of them I'll show, like this Romanian Tokarev here. I just bought that one for $200 from Brownells. Really nice shape. You can also get Nagant revolvers for around $350, although they are creeping up. So if you've been waiting to get one, you might want to go ahead and do it now because they're encroaching the $400 mark. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, you could get these things for $100 a piece, but no one wanted them when they were being imported. But as soon as they stopped being imported and people couldn't get them, they went from $100 to where they are today. They're horrendous pistols. The triggers on them are horrible, but they're a cool piece of World War II history that you can grab. Another thing you can get are Bulgarian Makarovs. Now these also are encroaching on the $400 mark. In fact, on Gunbroker right now, they're probably in the 500s because they haven't been imported for a little while. But you can still find them out there for $350, $400. And compared to a Russian or an East German that are selling for $700+, that's really not a bad deal considering it's literally the same handgun. This one here, obviously, it's got some engraving on there, which is why I kept it. I thought it was pretty neat. But they are absolutely beautiful handguns. There are a ton of movies, especially the Bond movies. It's just a Cold War classic, and those are in 9mm Makarov, which is our 9x18, which is very, very easy to find. Another handgun that you can get really cheap right now are Beretta 81s. This is a Beretta 81 BB. I got this from Gander Outdoors. I think I paid right at $215 for it. And it was described as good condition. That's how they describe all of them. But other than a large nick in the trigger guard there, I'd say it's in really nice shape. It is in 32, so it's not quite as popular as 380. It's got a 12-round magazine. It's got a very nice trigger on it. And 7 years ago, this is one of the rare times when surplus gets cheaper. Those Beretta 81s were selling for about $600 5 or 6 years ago before they started being imported. So it's a good time to get one. Something else you can look at getting are Mosin Nagants. And I will say it the correct way just so I don't get that correction Nazi in the comments. Mosin Nagant. Especially M91s. I feel like M91s are one of the rifles. That's the original Mosin Nagant. I feel like they're overlooked so often by collectors, especially new collectors, that to me it kind of feels like they don't even know they exist. This one's pretty cool. This one is a World War I And it's got a German capture marking there, or a German proof marking on the stock, so we can assume it was captured during World War I. Not much finish left on it, but I like this one because it's got that nice big eagle on top there. 1916 Tula. I just really like that rifle just because it's definitely been there and done that. And you can still get M91s for right around $350. You don't have to go on Gunbroker either. You can go to places like Gunboards. Gunboards forums are pretty good. They've got a good trader section there. There's all kinds of different surplus forums that have trader sections that you can pick up good deals on. 9130s. Now, you probably won't find this one on there because it's a Max Geltz marked rifle, so it's a Siege of Leningrad repaired rifle. But you can find 9130s still for right around $300 and $350. Something I hear all the time is that, oh, well, you know, they're garbage rods, and I used to get them for $60. And what I would tell those people is to get your DeLorean time machine fix, go back to 2005 and pay $100 or $50 or whatever you paid back then for one, because they're just not going to be that cheap again. If you are trying to compare surplus rifles from World War II to today's rifles, I see that all the time. Well, I can get a Remington 700 for just a couple hundred more. Guys, at this point, surplus is collectible. It is no longer for the utilitarian. If you are in this 100% for utility purposes, get yourself a new gun. Surplus is, there's very few things out there other than maybe some on this list that are going to be worth it for just the modern shooter. Now, if you're into history, take this Japanese Type 99 Arisaka, for example. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful rifle. Ammunition is very hard to find, I will say that, but this is a bona fide bringback from World War II. And the cool thing about the Japanese Arisaka is 90% of the Arisakas you will find online for sale or in gun stores or really anywhere, they are bringbacks. So you're getting a bringback for right around $300 to $350. Now, of course, there's the more expensive ones that have the monopods and the AA sights and the chrysanthemum still intact and all that stuff. Bringback for $350, $300. Right now on Gunbroker, there's several of them on there, Type 99s. Really cool. I mean, especially when you consider other bringbacks of really any type are going for at least $1,000. So that's yet another item I feel like that has not taken off and would be a good choice. So yeah, that's some of them. I've got a whole list here of things you can take a look at. Japanese Arisakas, you got the Type 38, Type 99s. You get those from $300, $350 all day long. You can get Turkish Mausers for right around $250, $300. They're an 8mm. They may not be the prettiest things in the world, but they're out there. Yugoslavian Mausers, you can get a good M48 for around $300, $350. You can get Czech Mausers like VZ24. You can get those for around $350. Spanish Mausers are still dirt cheap. You can still get those $250. Tokarevs, you're talking about the Yugoslavian M57 Tokarev. You can get those for $200. You can get the Romanian that you see in front of you here and get that for $200. So there's still Tokarevs out there. Let's see here, the Polish Makarov clones, those suckers are still around $250. You know, you can get the Hungarian Walther PPK clones, the FEG PA63s. You can look those up, and those suckers are going for right around $200. The Beretta 81s, $200, $250. Different 9130 and M91s going for right around $350. Mosin Gantz. Get Carcanos. You can get Nagant revolvers. You can get different CZ pistols, VZ50s, VZ52s, CZ82s. A CZ82 is a terrific handgun. It's a surplus handgun, and it's CNR, which is cool, even though it's more of a modern design. And that shoots 9mm Makarov as well. Those are still around $300. You can get Yugoslavian-made CZ99s for right around $200. Star BMs are just over $200. You can get a Chinese SKS for $300. You can get a Steyr M95 for around $300. So what I'm getting at here is there is a ton of surplus out there that you can still grab that is not going to break the bank. So yeah, that's pretty much my list. Again, I'm sorry if I kind of went through this fast, but you know, there was so much to talk about that, and it's a very passionate subject for me because obviously being a dealer, I deal in stuff like this, but you know, most all of these things can be found on Gunbroker or forums right now. all for, you know, right around $300, $350. So, yep, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, click the subscribe button, and we'll have another video up soon.